If there's one concept, I think, that kind of typifies the tumultuous 1960s and 70s, is the idea of consciousness and consciousness change. Now again, let's get a little historical perspective here. The idea of consciousness was not used very much. Oh yeah, you're either conscious or you're unconscious, either asleep or hit over the head. But the idea that you could alter consciousness or change and fine-tune your consciousness did not exist in the mass public. Of course, for thousands of years, shaman and Buddhist yogis and Hindus and in Europe and even in America, elegant poets would use strange drugs from the Orient to change consciousness because they were artists. But the mainstream people just didn't exist. Now, how come in the 1960s suddenly consciousness alteration, the ability, the wonder of being able to move your brain around and to get different perspectives, doors of perceptions opening? How come that happened in the 60s? Well, for two reasons. Transportation. Jet planes could move plants and roots and drugs around and get the word around. And of course, electronic communication. Rock and roll records and television was telling everyone in the country and everyone in the world that there was a new great possibility. You could change your mind, change your brain, alter consciousness.
Woodstock is in your mind, not the present or the past. It can happen anywhere, anytime. Bring back the 60s, man. Woodstock is not a dream, it's not an image on a movie screen. We can make it happen if we try. Let's bring back the 60s, man. Oh, this might be mountain moving time. Oh, close your eyes, can you see pictures in your mind? In your mind. People are laughing, you know that they're clapping their hands, digging the music and rock and roll bands. Don't you know that it could be such a beautiful trip? Screaming and shouting, hey, it's fantastic. Woodstock is our dream. It's not an image on a movie screen. And we can make it happen if we try. Anywhere, anytime. We can make it happen if we try. Let's bring back the 60s, man. Let's bring back the 60s, people are laughing, you know that they're clapping their hands, digging the music and the rock and roll band. Don't you know that it could be such a beautiful trip? Screaming and shouting, hey, it's fantastic. Woodstock is our dream. It's not an image on a movie screen. We can make it happen if we try. Anywhere, anytime. We can make it happen if we try. Let's bring back the 60s, man. Let's bring back the 60s, man. I'd like to dedicate the cheer tonight to the National Security Council. I'd like to dedicate Fixin' a Dire Rag to any Vietnam vets who might be here today, any friends or family or Vietnam vets who might be here today, and the MIA POWs. Give me an F! Give me a U! Give me a C! Give me a K! What's that spell? What's that spell? What's that spell? Well, come on, all you big strong men. Uncle Sam needs help again. Got himself in terrible jam. Way down yonder in Vietnam. Put down your books, pick up a gun. Gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up pearly gates. Well, ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Now come on, Wall Street, don't be slow. Ah, man, this is war, go, go. There's plenty good money to be made. Flying the army with tools of the trade. Joseph and pray, they drop the bomb. They drop it on the Viet Cong. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up pearly gates. Well, ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Hey, here we go. Throughout the land, pack your boys off to Vietnam. Come on, fathers, don't hesitate. Send your daughters off before it's too late. Be the first one on your block. Have the kids come home in a box. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up pearly gates. Well, ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. I'd like to dedicate this next song to Greenpeace Foundation. It's called Save the Whales. When my grandpa was a boy, he went down to the general store, saw a picture book of a whale shooting its spout and flashing its tail. Then he got a sailor's dream, cruising around on the salty sea, joining up with fishing crew to go out and get a whale or two. Tell me, what kind of men are these that sail upon salty seas, up in the rigging in afternoon, swabbing the deck and sharpening harpoons? Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray. hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. And we kill them for the industry, drag them alongside and chop them in two and melt them down and sell it to you. But hardly is a sailor alive who can keep the tears from his eyes as he remembers the good old days when there were no whales to save. Thank the Russians and Japanese for scouring the deep blue seas, looking for ivory and perfume, plastic toys and pet food. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Boston in the middle of June. After 6 months out at sea, it's nothing but death and misery. Set off on a 3-year cruise, a Union ship and a Union crew. After 6 months you begin to see whaling's not what it used to be. A modern ship and a modern crew with sonar scopes and exploding harpoons. A mechanical boat made out of steel, a floating machine built to kill all the whales. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, up she rises early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, up she rises early. Help me out, clap your hands, come on. Clap, 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 clap. Start singing the chorus together. I know you all know it. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Early in the morning. Here we go. Come on. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Early in the morning. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Hooray, up she rises. Early. Try it by yourselves. Come on. Got it. Come on, do it again.
The thing that created this new culture, this youth culture, was electronics, television, the new media in the hands of young people, namely rock and roll records and tapes. For the first time that I can ever think of, look through the history book, young people could put out their own music, tailored to their own interests and expressing their own desire for change. So you had Bob Dylan, singing "Ain't Gonna Work on Maggie's Farm No More," and the Beatles singing, "All You Need Is Love," and John Lennon, "Give Peace a Chance," and "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." Well, you get the idea. It was electronics and transportation bringing the world together to allow this global sense of love and peace and of consciousness change.
Well, yes, we used to party a lot. I guess we all have to calm down as the years progress. I, for one... No, I still have a lot of fun, actually. What am I saying? Yes, it's still good fun, sir.
Beautiful people, you live in the same world as I do, but somehow I never noticed you before today. I'm ashamed to say. Beautiful people, we share the same back door, and it isn't right. We never met before, but then we may never meet again. If I weren't afraid you'd laugh at me, I would run and take all your hands, and I'll gather everyone together for a day. And when we're gathered, I'll pass buttons out that say, beautiful people. And then we'll never have to be alone, 'cause there'll always be someone with the same button on as you. Include him in everything you do. Beautiful people, you look like friends of mine, and it's about time that someone said it here and now. I make a vow that sometime, somehow, I'm gonna have a meeting, invite everyone you know. I'm gonna pass out buttons for the ones who come to show. Beautiful people, never ever have to be alone, 'cause there'll always be someone with the same button on as you. Include him in everything you do. He may be sitting right next to you. He may be beautiful people too. And if you take care of him well, maybe he'll take care of you. 'Cause all other beautiful people do it. Oh, sometimes they're rare, and you think they're hard to come by, and then you find somebody, and you gotta take care of the beautiful. He may be sitting right next to you. He may be beautiful, and if you take care of him well, maybe he'll take care of you. 'Cause all of the beautiful people do it, and I'm a beautiful people too.
Yo, this is Sammy Hagar. Stay tuned for some real rock and roll. Next.
Can you sing? Can you sing this? Can you sing? Say, we got to live together. Can everybody sing? We got to live together. Can you say it real loud? Can you raise your hands one time? Say it so. We got to live together. I can't hear you. We got to live together. One more time now. We got to live together. A little louder, y'all. We got to live together. Wow! Yeah. All right. Thank you very, very much. We love you. We love you.
Throughout America, a new permissive morality became evident. Nudity pranced in the legitimate theater and movies. Experiments in sex and dress enticed the young from fad to fad. Some oldsters were titillated, others shocked. The governments of Mexico and the U.S. teamed up in Operation Intercept to halt a flow of drugs. And for a while, marijuana became scarce.
This revolutionary notion that you could change your consciousness and fine-tune it and dial it was, they say, it was very new. There was no concept in the psychology textbooks about this, so that from the streets, from the campuses, from the dance hall, there came this notion of you can space out, or you can get high, or you can, don't bring me down. These are kind of crude but yet very powerful concepts that implied you could change your mood, you could change your brain. At Harvard University in the 60s, we had a large group of people studying how you could planfully reprogram your mind and your brain using psychedelic plants and drugs in a very supportive way. And this led to what is probably the greatest contribution of the 60s and the 70s to human evolution, the notion that you could operate your brain.
All the way from Los Angeles, California, the bad boys of Boogie and Blues, Candy. Good to be here. We'd like to do one in memory of the Bear Bob Height to kick it off tonight, called Let's Work Together. From San Jose, California. And the guitar, You better believe it.
Another kind of interesting fallout or product of the 60s, stemming from the notion that you could change your mind, you could alter your consciousness, you could change your brain, you could change your body. These are ancient Hindu and yogic traditions. That you're in charge of your own body, and you can't count on doctors, hospitals. Yeah, listen to them, but basically you have to learn how to operate your own body. Now, in the 80s and 90s, this has become what's called the New Age movement, and a tremendous, almost cultish interest in using vitamins, using health food, watching your diet, exercise. Talking about resurrection of the body, which started back in the 60s, the attention to developing your own body and being responsible for your own health, again, comes back to the idea of being humanism, do it yourself, don't follow leaders, don't depend on doctors or the government. These are straight out hippie 60s notions that are now appearing in your health food stores and on television and God knows in the bookstores. Amateur attempts to change your brain by spacing out and getting high and taking trips. They reappeared in the 80s and they're taking off in the 90s when we now know a lot more about the brain, and also we know about computers and multimedia techniques to actually you can now create brain change. You can put people in trance states, alter consciousness using patterns of flashing lights and sounds and visual overload. For example, watch this. Your brain is now being changed. This is the basic message of the human spirit throughout the ages. The Buddha said it, the Hindu said it, the Taoist said it, Socrates said it. You know what it is. Your job is to think for yourself, question authority, open your mind, and become conscious. Become conscious. Think for yourself. Question authority.